Hello guys, so another week have passed and I have to be honest, right? This week we've gotten at least some fairly nice good trades, right? I mean some one or two trades were very good, but the rest was kind of dangling, but still they were nice trades, right? As compared to previous weeks or as compared to most of the weeks that we've traded this method already or this strategy already, I think this week we are good, right? So let's try our best and analyze it and see what actually happened throughout the week, right? So that we prepare ourselves for the next week, right? So that's just how it is. But before we get into anything, please try your best and do what? Subscribe and share, right? Let's make sure that 1 million people or probably 10 million people will be watching these videos. Trading is very hard, right? Trading is very hard. So at least if a beginner is learning how to trade, they should have a method that is what giving them some income, right? So let's try our best and do that. But that's just by the way. So let's look at Monday, right? So Monday was pretty much simple. We're in a consolidation, right? Which is just what's equivalent to the triangle trend, right? So it's just like the triangle trend right here, a very simple triangle trend. So meaning it's an equal trend. You just mark your topmost part of this and you mark your downwards part of this. If price breaks through this level, you do what you buy. If price breaks through this level, you do what you sell, right? So that was how it is, a pretty simple trade. So the only thing you should have done on Monday was just to do what? Mark these levels right here. So you could have marked this level all the way to this side and you mark this level all the way through, right? So you could have ignored the wicks, then you put it on the candles itself, right? But if you are someone who wants trades to be very good or very nice, you can equally add the wicks. There's no problem, right? So this is what you should have just done. Either way price goes, right, you are buying or you are selling. If we are going up, you are joining us. If we are going down, you are doing what? You are joining us again. So you are just in the middle, right? Trying your best to find an opportunity and enter into a trade. So and remember, I've always told you guys, do what? Enter in huge, because the 714 method is just a foundation telling you that this is going to happen next. So when you know the foundation of the building, you know how it's going to be done, right? So it's just a very simple thing. So that's just it. But I would have waited to see what price would do to this top right here, right? Because it was a very nice top that did what? That got tested twice, right? So that's just it. As you can see, we got tested around this level right here, came and tested it again with so much selling, right? So we got tested, we sold, tested again, we sold. So price could easily come back, do a test it again, and we sell before price will now shoot all the way up, right? So that was just what you should have been waiting for, right? So let's see what actually happened. So as you can see, price actually went all the way down to this level right here, but we are not having any breakthrough yet. So you are doing what? You are just exercising patience and you are waiting to see what price happens or what price does next. So as you can see, price actually went all the way up to that level and tested it, making it the third time. So this right here was the first time, second time, and third time right there. So indirectly, if price push all the way back and we are going up, we'll probably do what? Get out of this level right here, right? So that's just how it is, a very simple trade. So with this, where could you have entered into your trade? When you look at this right here, so you can see that from this level right here, price actually did what? It broke through that level, right? So with this, you could have gotten into the trade around this level or use this fair value gap right here. If you look down here, you see that there's a fairly very nice fair value gap right here, right? So you could have used either this fair value gap or this right here, this break of structure right here. So you could have used either one of it. So when you look at this, let's pull this all the way down to this level, right? So this was my entry right here. I actually got into the trade around this level right here with my stop loss below the fair value gap. I've told you guys, never put your stop loss inside a fair value gap or even close to a fair value gap, right? Because price can actually just push all the way. Price can do this, right? Price can do this. It can pull all the way through and just come all the way back up and close around somewhere here like this. So taking you all the way out, right? Because fair value gaps are very, very dangerous, right? So that's just it. So your trade could have been on this fair value gap like this. You could have kept it on this, the middle point of this fair value gap. Or if you're someone who likes to enter into your trades pretty fast and pretty nice, you could have also joined us and gotten into your trade around somewhere here, right? So if you were using what 1:2 or 1:3, so this could have been your what, your 2. Then you put your what, your first TP there, and you do what, you duplicate it, right? It's a very simple thing. So when you duplicate it, this right here could have been your what, your 3, right, or your 4. So this should have been what you should have done, right? A very simple trade. Now when you look at this, price will easily do what, push all the way up, right? But the problem is this level. If this level is not taken through, you still have to watch your what, your trades, and trade carefully, right? So that's just it. Now let's see what happened. So as you can see, price actually went up, do what, made a very small retracement all the way back to the fair value gap. So those that kept their trades, their price actually picked it from that level because there was a lot of buys here. So price came all the way down, picked this what, trades right here, then we were pushing all the way up, right? So just within a couple of minutes, as you can see, your first TP could have been hit. And when you just exercise what, patience for just a little bit of time, you will have realized that your second TP could have been hit, right? Very, very easy. So that was just the trade on Monday. As you can see, a very simple trade. You did not have to do what, stress yourself. No, you do not have to stress yourself. You just have to come inside the trade, do whatever you want to do very, very fast, and then you leave, right? A very simple trade. So let's go to Tuesday and see what actually happened. So when we look at Tuesday, I can argue that Tuesday was what, the very simplest trade that we got what, throughout the week, right? So we were in a downtrend. As you can see, we're in a downtrend, and when we are in a downtrend, we expect what, an uptrend. And Tuesday was so wonderful that even though the trade wasn't a very long trade, or we did not actually enter into the trade for a very long time, right? But it was very, very wonderful. As you can see, price did what, it just pushed down from this 714 method to a what, a fair value gap right here. You don't even have to wait anymore. You just have to enter into your trade. Look at it. A very simple thing, right? You just have to enter into your trade at that moment. No waiting. Just enter into your trade and put this as your what, your first TP, right? So that was just it. A very simple trade. You are not even supposed to do anything, because around this level, price is going to push all the way down to this level. It's going to break this level right here, right? Which is going to be bad for trade, because price will actually push down if it does that, right? So that was just it around here. A very simple entry. You should have just gotten into a trade. Your first TP here. So this should have been your what? After this candle closes. So this right here should have been your entry on this candle right here immediately after it closes. Your first TP should have been here. A very simple trade. Then you do what? If your first TP is here, then you do what? You multiply it and you put your second TP, right? So if you actually multiply it, this is our second TP right here. It's not going to be accurate. My second TP is not going to be accurate as the first, but it's still the same, right? So you duplicate it and you get your what? Your second TP. Pretty much simple. You don't have to stress yourself. Then you just watch price do what? Does it magic, right? So that's just it. You're just supposed to do this and wait for price to do what? Go all the way up and hit your TP, right? Then you do what? You pull this right here all the way up to break even. So even price reverse to it, it's still not going to what? Take you out, right? So you see how simple what Tuesday was. Very, very simple. I don't even talk for like 1 minute. You could have done this and you are good to go. That is just it. It wasn't any big deal, right? So that's just it. And when you look at it, price actually pushed a little bit up before it did what? It fell all the way down, right? So that was just it. Very simple trade. Your first TP could have been hit. Imagine you bought around here 10 lots, right? So if you had bought 10 lots right here, from here to here, you would have gotten a lot of money, right? So that's just it for Tuesday. A very simple yet easy trade, or easy analysis, right? So let's go to Wednesday and see what happened. So Wednesday was actually a very good trade as well. We're in an uptrend, as you can see right here. We're in an uptrend, right, during the 714 method. And if we are in an uptrend, we look forward to being a downtrend after it, right? But if you had been watching my videos, you know about what the reverse 714 method. Now let me tell you the reason why the reverse 714 method works, right? You see, the whole concept about the 714 method is inside this box right here. I'm covering most of the candles, but just understand something. It's inside just this 1 hour right here, right? This 60 minutes right here. So indirectly, it's telling you that when this 60 minutes is over, you should understand within this 60 minutes where price is going to go. Now, when you look at this level right here, price was consolidating. Just look at this level right here. Price was consolidating for a while. As you can see, price was consolidating before we got into the 714 method. It continued to do what? To consolidate until it broke through this level right here, meaning the trend was going into an uptrend. So despite what price, or despite the 714 method is in an uptrend, you don't do what? You don't enter into a sell. You look for a fair value gap within this 714 method, right? Though I've told you, if price is going to do what? If price is going to make you use the reverse 714 method, that means if it's not going to go according to the 714 method, it will give you a fair value gap to enter into your trade. Meaning within this 714 method, there's going to be what? A lot of liquidity. Price will actually pull either to the topmost part, or it will pull all the way down, right? Giving you a fair value gap to do what? To enter into your trade based on. So when you look at this, there was a fair value gap right here, small one, another fair value gap right here, another fair value gap right here. If you had gone to what? A 15-minute time frame, you see it's a very big fair value gap, as you can see. So you could have just marked this level right here. Very simple. You just mark it right there. If price push into this level right here, you are entering into your trade and you are putting your stop loss below this fair value gap right here, right? So that's just it, because the trend at this moment is not going according to the 714 method, right? So indirectly, if we were just in a normal trend like this and we see this upward move, we would have searched for a high right here. So just a normal move, just like this. If we are seeing this at that moment, we would have searched for a high, another high right here, or a fair value gap right here to put our trace on top and do what? And go all the way down, right? But no, that wasn't the case, because price consolidated and we had this breakthrough around this level right here, meaning price was going up, not down. So indirectly, the 714 method will not work unless you use the reverse 714 method, so that price will pull to the fair value gap, pick your trade, and move all the way up. Simple as that. So this right here was my entry, a very simple entry, right? So you just mark your levels right here, or if you are someone who wants to do what? Enter into trade, very good, or who wants confirmations, or who want price to actually run back to you, you could have also entered on this fair value gap right here, right? So that's just it. But put your stop loss below the fair value gap. So this should have been your entry, a very nice entry if you're someone who does what? Wants price to pull back to you. But this right here was my entry. Sometimes if the fair value gap is not that big, don't put your entry inside the middle point. Price sometimes will hardly get to it, but if it's a very big fair value gap, meaning there's a lot of liquidity, you can put your entry right there, right? So that's just it. With your first TP either here, and your second TP should be here. We still have a high. You can put your third TP, right? So you could have rode this trend all the way up to this level, right? If you're someone who don't put a third TP, then you could have just omitted it and watch the third trade run, right? A very simple trade. So this was what you're supposed to do because the trend right here wasn't going according to the what the 714 method, right? So you do this. As you can see, price move all the way into the what the fair value gap, respected it, and we are pushing all the way up. So just within that small move, your first TP could have been hit, and your second TP could have been hit fairly, right? Then you leave the third trade or the fourth trade, or how many trades that you've entered. You can leave the rest and just look at how price is going to move all the way up, right? So Wednesday was one of the best days that we've traded so far because price still moved all the way up. This wasn't just the end, right? As you can see, price still moved all the way up. It was just marvelous. It was a very good trade. So let's go to Thursday and see what happened. So when you look at Thursday, we were in an uptrend during the beginning of the 714 method. As you can see, we dropped down a little, we went all the way up, then at the end of it we dropped all the way down back to the place that we started, right? So indirectly we are in an equal trend. That means buyers and sellers are both equal during the 714 method, right? But when you pull this right here, you understand that even though we were equal, what happened? Price actually breaks through that level, right? And the way I enter into my trades, this type of trades, I don't just hesitate, right? No, I don't do that. If I get this type of trade, I get into the trade very, very fast. So initially you mark this level right here and you mark which level right there. This one too. Pretty simple. If price breaks through any, but price actually broke through this just with this candle alone. So I got into my trade. A very simple trade. It wasn't any big deal on Thursday. It was just a small trade, just like Friday as well. Friday too was just a very small trade. It wasn't any big deal. So when you look at this, so my first TP was actually on this level right here, and my second TP was actually here in this level right here. So that was what happened. But price unfortunately did not get to my second TP, and we ended up closing the trade, right? But frankly speaking, it was a good trade. It wasn't any bad trade. So this was what we were just supposed to do because price actually broke through, even though we came all the way back, but we still broke through. You were already going to mark this level to see where price will break through, and price just gave it to you. A very simple thing. So you enter into your trade. If you were not able to enter into your trade, there's another fair value gap right here. You could have waited to see this move all the way back into that fair value gap. Then you do what? You enter into the trade, right? So as you can see, price actually hit our first TP very, very easy. Then we put our stop loss all the way back to break even. As you can see, a very simple trade. Now price did not actually reach it. It actually went all the way up and we consolidated for a while, taking us out at break even, right? So that was just it. A very simple trade on Thursday. It wasn't a big deal. Now the reason why people don't understand this is probably maybe most of them are still trading demo, or most of them don't just like risk, right? But let me tell you something. There's no 1% risk that will make you super rich, right? Or that will make you have the account size that you've been dreaming about, right? There's no 1% risk that can do that. No, it can never do that. So you have to risk in trading. You have to risk below this, just from here all the way down to this level right here. I could easily make what 10k just between here all the way down to here, because I'm going to enter into a very big loss size, right? But you can be inside this trade from here all the way up to this level, and your amount will not even be up to $100, right? So that's just how it is. Let's go to Friday and see what actually happened, right? So when we look at Friday, right, we're in a very nice downtrend during the 714 method. If you look at the move right here, we're in a downtrend, right? If we're in a downtrend, what do? We expect to be in an uptrend after this move, right? So that was just it, a very simple concept. Now I think explaining this much better on my trading view where I actually took the trade on, not on this platform right here, right? So I think explaining it over there will actually make a lot of sense, right? So let me try. I want to try and explain it over there. It might look a little bit messy, but just try your best and understand, because it's there was a lot of things involved, right? So let's go to my trading view. So when we look at this was where I was going to enter into the trade, right? Now, as you can see, we're in a downtrend. This was my trading view, right? So we're in a downtrend, but we were just pulling into a fair value gap right here. So this was just a fair value gap from here all the way down to this level, right? Price was just pulling to it, right? Now let me analyze this for you. It's a very simple thing. If you look at this right here, price just got to a swing high, right? So a swing high is just a high that has never been taken, and price actually moved way down before it actually pulled all the way back to it, right? So here, this swing high right here, there's a lot of liquidity there. So indirectly, if price hit it, price will try its best and even break through this level. This was the 60% line, retracement line rather. So price will do even break this level right here and push all the way down, right? Simple as that. But because the 714 method was yet to be activated, you can see that I actually drew this line right here, and this line was just to show that, oh, there's a lot of liquidity down here, but price was actually moving to the top side, right? Now when you look at this entry, I want you to understand, or when you look at this analysis right now, you see that this arrow does not point all the way through this level, right? No, it only points towards this fair value gap right here, around this level right here, because that was the only sensible level that price can actually use the 714 method to go to. After this level, price was going to drop, because at this moment the 714 metals was going to be acting as a retracement, not a normal move. So if price actually closed above this, I would have bought, and price will push to this fair value gap right here and will drop all the way down, right? That was what was going to happen, because this was a very big high, and if price enter into there's a lot of liquidity. Despite price is pushing, we're just going to get back to this level and we drop, right? So it was just a simple trade. Now if you look at it, you see that I've told you guys to enter into huge, right? Look at it, we actually closed around this level right here when price was getting to the fair value gap up there, right? But just look at it from here all the way up to this level. You can see that I'm already up 5,425 dollars, right? So indirectly, you could have used it to do duplicate your account. If you look at this, I'm already up, I'm not down. So this was the break of structure right here. Price broke structure right there, and you enter into your trade. It's not a big deal, right? It's not just a big deal. You enter into your trade and you are good to go. A very simple thing. Now when price reaches here, then you get out of the trade and you wait for price to do get all the way back down to this level right here. When you see a breakthrough, then you do you enter into your sell and will push all the way back down inside this 61% retracement, right? So that was just what you were going to do. This was going to be a short trade. It was just going to be a trade from here all the way to this level, because it was going to be a retracement, not an actual trade, right? So that was just it. A very simple thing. So that was just it, right? I hope you understood what I was doing, right? I hope you understood it, because I wasn't clear enough, but I hope you understood it, right? So we had a fair value gap up here, right? If you can see, it's a very nice fair value gap. So price was trying to push all the way back into it. So as you can see, we consolidated for a while, right? For a very big time, we consolidated, as you can see, a very big consolidation, until price pushed all the way back into it right here. So price came into where the fair value gap is rejected, right? So that was just it. The trade was just going to be a short one from here, just here, this level right here to this fair value gap right here. It wasn't going to be a big trade, but could have used a very big lot size to make a lot of money during this, right? Because we are really going up just to this fair value gap right here and we'll drop. That was it. So this was just supposed to be your trade. You know for sure that price was going to reject from here because we needed to break through this level and drop all the way down to a 15-minute what. There was a 15 minutes fair value gap around this level, right? So price could actually drop through this level right here and bounce all the way into that fair value gap, right? So that was just it. As you can see from my listing, you can see that I marked this level right here. After we got up to the trade, price actually pulled all the way down, right? Price actually pulled all the way down. As you can see, price pushed all the way down. So as you can see, price actually broke through that level. You could have gotten into another trade after what this pullback is done, right? So you could have gotten into another trade, and that was it. Just a very simple thing, right? So you just have to be patient. You just have to be patient to see the nice what setups, right? So you just have to be patient, just a little bit. You see nice setups, right? So that's just it for today. I'll see you guys on Monday.